Hi everyone. I'm finally time to show a Catknights run. This is for the monthly squad for January of 2023, and I decided now is the time to upload a video for it because I think I just wanted to like get it out there because I've been showing my Catknight runs through community posts, and I haven't been really like showcasing how I go and through the process of it, but I think the monthly squad was a great idea to go through with it. So this monthly squad included Shalam, whatever the heck his name is, I don't care about him, Iris and Milantha, which two of my favorite felines, obviously. I'm a Cat Knights player. So basically how I went to this run, the first stages are like actually kind of important. So if we actually start with a data with squads, I immediately restart because I've tried to go through with it when I just have Iris and Melantha, but it is very difficult to manage, and I'm obviously always gonna leak when that one happens. So for this one, I started with a bewildered pathway, so I was able to kind of like pick like kind of expensive operators to start with. So obviously I went with the Shores pick because she will be very useful for the end game, especially for the final fandom boss. So again, I'm speeding through with these. I'm trying to go look through every single recruitment voucher in case I get a free operator, which will be foreshadowing, by the way. But because I do not have Goldenglow. Goldenglow is a operator that I use all the time whenever I do normal Catknights runs, because I usually go for either the slow and steady pace, which is just I start with Goldenglow, or I do a random pick, and if I get guard caster, then I can start with Goldenglow and Malantha. But if I get the support, if I use the support squad as well, I can also get Goldenglow Jessica if I want to. It is a very complicated process. Also, I know some of you are against using a horn because horn is not technically a feline. But for my case, I do use horn on some of my Cat Knights clears. I didn't use horn for this Cat Knights clear, obviously, just because for my first run, I wanted to showcase that it is possible without. Yeah, it is possible without horn. Yeah, as you see, I'm still speaking through the rounds. I slowed down for the shop just to show what I bought. And E2 Iris is very good for this, especially with her module. Her module gives her a burst of 4. She can hold up to 4, and it does a ton of damage. Now, obviously, for every now and then, I do have leaks, which is fine. Like, I'm not trying to leak the boss. Like, yes, I could have probably leaked the boss if I didn't have any leaks, but at the end, I'll have like around mid 20 amount of lives, which is not enough to leak the boss, but is enough to leak a ton of enemies, which I will be doing because of some sort of situations that I bumped into for this run. By the way, this run took like almost a week to pull off. I had this idea for like 4 days now, and it was a struggle. There's a ton of stages that make Cat Knights very difficult to do. DP management is probably one of the biggest things that you have to deal with for Cat Knights runs because you don't have any Vanguards that are feline, and it makes things a bit interesting, I will say. But as you can see here, this is one of the newer stages that came out with the fourth ending, and this one it wasn't too bad. The one in the first floor is not too bad as well. It can be a struggle, but on challenge mode it's not as bad as some of the other ones. Like there are with like a couple of them, like gun salute on challenge mode is a lot more difficult. I mean emergency op, but yes. As we go into the third floor here, it is this stage is one that also ends the run a ton. So me going for this stage was I was like, I don't feel confident at all with this one. I don't think I will beat it. Cause normally I would start with Iris first and she would die to the first couple enemies because I don't have a medic. Volnik and Kaltza are the only two medics I can bring, and no usually I pick Volnik over Calcit because of DP managing, and also with the hope with having hope. Having hope is obviously it's kind of necessary there, and as you see, Hayes dies there because I activated her skill. And as you see, I can't block those guys. I don't have a Kazemaru, I don't have Blaze, I don't have Swire. Yeah. So yeah, I leaked a couple here, but not enough to end the run, which is alright, I guess. So Here I'm hoping for a ground unit here, and I got Kazemaru because she's probably one of the most key units for this one. Because if you didn't notice, when she goes to her substitute form, she can hit drones, which is I don't know if it's a bug, but I'm taking it because it is really good. Like it's like especially for IS2, for some reason, it's been used in more than one occasion. Like it's crazy. Like sometimes you just don't get snipers, and I don't have my Jessica built up to E2 yet, which is I should probably work on that, but I'm kind of hesitant on it. But I, since I have Schwartz and Rosamontes, I don't really mind it. But Rosamontes doesn't hit drones. Schwartz is kind of situational because you want to use her for skill 3 most of the time because that's where she does the most damage. Alright, here's the duck, and we kill it pretty easily with Haze and Iris. Catknights has a lot of casters, which is saying something. There's like Skyfire, Nightmare as well, and Goldenglow, and yeah, it's just a ton. Slow down again for this shop in case you guys want to see what I got. And yeah, just a bit of stuff. I'm avoiding Vanguards, obviously, because there's no Vanguards. I would have grabbed a Defender, but the only Defender I can grab was Horn. But I don't have any hope for that. Here's a fairly easy stage as long as you have both Malantha and Kazemaru. Dealing with the middle is probably the hardest part if you don't have another blocker, which is why I was very confident once I had Blaze, because Blaze is very good at lane holding, and it makes this stage pretty much a joke. Which I know for a lot of other things, like okay, I know there is a feline fast redeploy out there, but I'm not going to use her because I despise her. And I know like for niche knights runs you have to build operators that you sometimes just don't like, because I know for Bird Knights players they have a lot of options. All right, now we're turning on the audio for the boss fight for the 4-3, and I will shut up because you'll see how it goes.
皆さん、世界を平和にするために頑張りましょう。この辺、温度が低すぎるかな。悪くない位置取りです。任務を開始する。お役に立つの的です。風間さん。
So yeah, I kind of messed up the timing there, but I could have done that with just Kazemaru and Schwartz. I put down Haze in case of backup, but it seemed to work just fine, and that pretty much finishes the run. So yeah, just gonna play through the rest of the stage. This is probably the slowest part. I think I got pretty lucky because this is probably one of the easiest stages to do Catknights runs on. Some of the other mini bosses, like Kevin especially, it's not that hard because all you need to just have a little bit of air, or you just want to bait with like Kazemaru or something like that. But there's a couple of the mini bosses, like since you only have 2 medics for the Fatal Melodies boss, the Unicycle guy, I think it's better to block it with Calcit if you have Calcit. Calcit makes that stage pretty easy, but if you don't have Calcit, it might be a bit difficult. But blocking it shouldn't be an issue, especially if you're playing on normal mode. If you're playing on hard mode, it might be a different story. I haven't done a Catknights run on hard mode yet. I kind of want to try it off camera when I can, but I need to build the other operators and probably get some more M3s up. But yeah, 4-3 wasn't too much of an issue, thankfully. Which is usually an end rounder, or a run ender. So now, for this one I chose, in case I screw up, which I surprisingly don't use. For that one I chose Paramedex. Again, I wasn't sure if I was going to use Horn or not, so Paramedex is good because at E2 she can target 2 and her debuffing is fairly decent. I wouldn't say it's like one of the best, but it's still pretty good. But yeah, okay, this stage is a bit scary just because obviously the only anti-air we have is Jessica, and then Schwartz is fine. But yeah, for this one, you kind of need to be kind of worried. The casters are not too much of an issue because the ground units they have are fairly fine. Obviously, I kind of messed up there, but thankfully I still had Schwartz. There's a couple things to keep in mind whenever I do these runs. It's that make sure I have a diversity of ground and ranged units, because if I only have ranged units, I'm not gonna be able to deal with invis enemies. If I only have ground units, drones are gonna be an issue. As you can see there, I just got a free Skyfire from a caster, which is great because I love Skyfire. I barely got to use her though, since I didn't get to E2 her. Her at E2 is actually fairly good. It is a bit niche because it's all in the stun duration from her S2, but I still think she's a good operator. You should definitely build her if you like her, but she's definitely not very like useful in the metagame because she is an AoE caster. AoE casters aren't rarely used, but I got her module and it makes her a bit more usable. Something that like I'm pretty sure Dusk's second module is going to be bring, because her first module only increases her attack range by that one range to single target caster range, which I mean is fine, but it's yeah. I wasn't paying attention, but I mean, if you guys were paying attention, Kazamaru was dealing with the drones there, which is kind of funny, and she was also dealing with the drones for the stage previous, which is awesome. Here's a recruitment voucher. During this part, you're gonna have to fear stages like this one, Red Mist and Shadow in the Clouds, because obviously you only have 2 medics and one of them is not technically a medic, so having Fall Nick is so key here. Unless you have like a artifact that makes your operators heal over time, which is good, but you still will have a net negative because of the damage over time obviously increases if you're playing the fifth floor stage. Yeah, here's my setup for this one. Haze will die here because I should have blocked the slug what I can, because the slug does a ton of damage, and obviously since I only have a single target medic, it was gonna be an issue. But yeah, again, these stages are pretty standard. I'm pretty sure you know a lot of these stages by now. That one was a key artifact right there. I just got 20% HP for all allies, which is great. Here's a challenge stage that I was gonna do. The other one was gonna be an issue, the one with the 4 bosses. This one is not too difficult. So I sped it up. I normally would have slowed it down for you guys because this stage is usually an issue, but this stage is a cakewalk. So yeah, I think this stage and the Fnatic stage, the other Fnatic stage, it got easier after playing it a couple of times. Like the Fnatic stage was also an IS1 or Campus Phone Miss, so that was pretty much my way of like practicing for it. But yeah, I love Campus Phone Miss, and this is like still very good too. Alright, again, I was just looking for free operators there. I didn't get a calcit, but I had enough for a moose. Here is some more buying. Awesome, I got 2 more E2s, and this is a new stage. This is my first time playing this stage, so I slowed it a bit down, but it's still sped up because obviously this video is gonna be way too long if I keep having to commentate over 1x runs. So yeah, this was a fairly interesting stage. It actually scared me when I saw the red katanas go on the freaking Virginium tile. I was very, very concerned, but add Kazemaru, which honestly made it so much easier than it should have. And the buffers on the bottom left are definitely scary. With the addition of those casters, kind of scary stuff. I had to kind of really like play through these stages very carefully. These last couple, obviously, because I needed as much HP for the final stage as possible. Yeah, as you can see, Kazemaru does not care about the red katana's like ability where it hits under half, it does a ton of damage because her substitute does not block it. But yeah, dealing with those guys on the bottom left were kind of a hassle. Like, I know there's another range tile down there, but it's scary. Plus my deployment was surprisingly low, which kind of scared me, and I felt like that could have killed the run. But it didn't, surprisingly. So yeah. Yeah, the stage was fairly good. I wouldn't mind playing the stage again. It's definitely not one of the easiest, or definitely not one of the hardest, though. Here I finally got Calcit, and I had to... And unfortunately, as you can tell, I didn't have enough hope or XP to get her to E2. So I'm gonna have to be stuck with her for E1, which is very unfortunate, because E2 Calcit would have been great for the final stage, because true damage obviously kind of helps a lot when doing this stage, when doing stages like that. But yeah, as you can see, my deploy limit is very low. I have so many operators on standby, but this is the setup for this one, and it makes, yeah, this stage is it can be difficult, obviously, with the amount of chargers that come the way, but it's mainly the Wraith Leaders. Like, these things are not even an issue. Just the Wraith Leaders. Now here, I was trying to not leak this guy, so I just redeployed everything on top of it, and yeah, there we go. That was a kind of a... Well, and yeah, that's me freaking out over me not being able to E2 stuff. And yeah, final boss time. I'm going to turn on my mic and show you guys how it went. It's not going to be pretty, I will say that. It's going to be very, very rough. So yeah, you're going to see a lot of mistakes that I made, so I'm going to shut up now.
山々へ捧げましょう。あなたのための祈りを。攻撃の許可が下りました。始めましょう。指定の座標に到着。まだ投薬開始。空気がよどんでいますわね。風丸、所持万端。
This was mistake 1, or I treated Kazemaru a bit too early, so I had to leak one of those guys, unfortunately. And I had to leak another one. Yep, that's DP management for you guys. My next mistake was obviously I put down Monster a bit too early, obviously, and it made it so that I kind of had to retreat. So the prioritizing of the casters and the beam throwers, we're gonna not go over to Schwartz. Obviously Schwartz over here is still gonna take damage, obviously, because then the enemy casters are gonna be out of Melance's range and or Monster's range for this part. So as you can see, doing some casual leaking, that's honestly a part of the process because I didn't have enough damage. Another and then the thing goes wrong with having Monster down, but we're just trying to push through it. Phantom is coming over to Schwartz's range. Once that happens, I'm just going to deal as much damage as I can. Obviously it's going to change because of the dodge that Phantom has, but we do a decent amount. There you go, 2 misses in a row over there. So yeah, not too bad. So the Phantom's currently at like half health, which is alright. And here's a ton of mistakes I made. I missed that guy, and I should have retreated both Volnik and Hayes here, because Phantom was gonna kill them because of how much health they had. And yeah, DP management was an issue. Totally. I haven't said that once. I've said that multiple times now. I'm trying to keep Blazin as much as I can, just so she can tank hits and stuff. But yeah, this is rough. Multiple leagues happening right now. Trying to delay a lot of them. Should have retreated Blaze there, and I was not expecting Skyfire to die there. Now I just gotta hope and pray that Schwartz does not die to that bottom caster and deal as much damage as I can. So we got 2 hits, 3 hits, 4 hits from Schwartz, which is great. And of course, the boss is sleep immune. So, and then here I'm thinking, how am I doing this? How am I gonna do this? And yeah, I was so close to leaping or like ending the stage. Also, I want to show you how crazy Kazumaru's range is. Do you see that?
Mission accomplished.
Did you just see Kazumaru's range? Like, that was insane. Anyways, that was the run. The last stage was scuffed as heck, but you know, that's how I do it. It's not usually going to be a scuffed. I usually bring Goldenglow again. Goldenglow makes things a lot more easier. But yeah, that is my Catknights run for this incredible monthly squad. Not incredible. 1 of 3 of them, it doesn't count. But yeah, that's it. Hopefully more videos come out like this. I kind of want to do more to kind of like showcase it. But yeah, thank you all for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Hopefully sometime next week or something.